This is Sue Ann Jackson, and I wanted to help everyone understand the Aging and Disability Resource Connection website, and so I promised to do a walkthrough. Thank you for those of you who are here today. So you'll notice that I just went into Google and said ADRC of Oregon, and it pulled it up. The website is www.adrcoforegon.org. And this is what you'll get. This is the website. And one of the first things you'll see up at the top is that you can select a language. There are several different languages. And I don't know why it's not showing, but usually beside the language is also 3 different font sizes. And for some reason, it's not giving us those today, but that's usually there also. So you'll see on the top of the page that it gives us the phone number. So if somebody gets on here and they don't want to do anything by computer, you can call them, and they have information and referral specialists who've been especially trained. The ADRC was an initiative from the federal group of folks that work with aging and folks with disability. And it started about 10 years ago. And what they wanted to do was put all the aging and disability resources in one place so that it was easy for people to find them. So Oregon was one of 8 states that got to pilot it. And we gave them feedback, and then, so we were one of 8 states. There's one, there want to be in every community. Some states chose to do one in each county. The state of Nevada chose to do one for the whole state, but everybody did them differently. Oregon has 9 of them.
Wow.
So this is called the homepage, and you'll see that it has 4 what we call entryways. There's an explore your options here. There's a search here, a connect here, and a plan here. And what I'm going to do is go through each of those and show you what's on there. They are connected to Facebook. And on every page down, at the bottom, you'll see the phone number again, or a way to contact them through email if you just want to send an email. And then this is a very quick, like 5-minute video that's doing what I'm doing now, but in a real nutshell version. And this is something, if you forget where it is on the site, you can just say, like, I want legal help, and it'll take you right to the place where they have information about legal stuff. So what I want to do is show you, this is a great planning toolkit, and you'll see it on a couple of other pages. You can download it and open it up and print it out. It's quite a number of pages long. And if you don't want to print it, you can go to an ADRC office and they'll give you or mail you a printed copy. This is, of course, a survey to tell them how you like the website. This is a connection to Oregon Care Partners website, which is free training for caregivers who live and work in the state of Oregon, whether you're family caregivers or memory care or foster care or whatever kind of caregiver you are, or people who are just interested in caregiving. This is a website that has all kinds of information and lots of training and free webinars and online training and stuff. So it's a really good one too. Okay, so explore your options. Let's go in and see what all is there. So you have several different tabs here with information on long-term services or community services, in your home services, information about facilities, Alzheimer's, and more. Whenever you see something that's underlined with those dotted lines, it gives you, you hover over it and it gives you a definition of what that is. Again, you'll see the contact with the phone number. They have that several places so people can go there if you get frustrated or you just want to call and talk to somebody. Again, there's an information and referral specialist who's specially trained, and if it takes more than just a couple minutes with a referral, there's a person called an options counselor who's trained to help you look at your needs. They'll even come out to your house and help you to have conversations with your family and they'll help you. They know what the resources are, and they'll help connect you to resources. This ADRC is all about helping to keep people in their homes, helping them to age in place, and helping them to know what resources are there and are available to help them do that. But then if you can't do that anymore, then you can talk about a facility. So there's long-term services. And so what are long-term services? What are the different levels of services, and what are the costs? And then in your community, there's adult day services in some places. What are the meal programs, the senior centers, chronic disease management, and transportation services? In your home, there's all these subcategories. Who can help? Oregon Project Independence, which is an extra added piece for folks who are on state aid. One of the things about the ADRC is that it actually has over 6,000 resources in it, and they're not all not-for-profits. They are also private for-profit ones that anybody can use. So it's not all public services. It's all kinds of different services. Specialized kinds of care, if you're looking at that, so nursing, therapy, all kinds of different things, meal programs, medical equipment, and then monitoring and reminder services. So all kinds of things. And over here, when we got to meal programs, it gave you an option to look for meal programs in your area. And on almost every page, it shows you how to connect with your local ADRC, which we'll look at in just a minute. If you feel like your family or you can't stay at home anymore and you want to take a look at communities, communal living situations, foster homes, assisted living residential care, nursing facilities, memory care, and then the ombudsman who helps people if you feel like you need an advocate or you feel like you need somebody to talk about things with you, with the administrators of the facility. And there's a couple of really good resources on here. This is a connection to the state site that licenses the long-term care settings, and it shows their compliance history and their survey reports and penalties they've had for violations and things like that. This is called Move Making Oregon Vital for Elders. That is our local Oregon chapter of the National Pioneer Network. Those folks are working and have been working for like 20 years with all the kinds of facilities. They've always been a medical model, and the Pioneer Network and the Move folks have been trying to work with them to help them be more social models and to help them be much more person-centered instead of sort of having a system that the person moving into has to adopt to. So it's things like open dining, taking showers anytime instead of fitting into a schedule. And they have a 5-page brochure that you can download on their website that looks at if you have to choose a facility, what should you look for? What kinds of questions do you want to ask? And it's really a good one. The other thing they have is a class that's called Being Person-Centered in a Task-Oriented World, because many of the caregivers feel like they're too busy to have personal connections because they have so much to do. So it's about how to build in the connection with the person and build that right into your daily schedule so you still get the tasks done. And the research shows that if you make that connection first, you'll get the tasks done a lot more quickly. And then there's just some more advocacy, National Consumer Voice for Long-Term Care Resources. So that's what's on that one. Then in the Alzheimer's section, there's a lot of information. And there's connections to information about a dementia roadmap in different languages, understanding memory loss. These are all handout information, what's next, and cognitive impairment screening, national Alzheimer's information, OHSU, the Alzheimer's Association. So just really, really good information. Sorry, I hope you're not getting seasick from moving around. legal and financial information having to do with Alzheimer's, and then caregiving information. And this is where you can connect with different kinds of in-home care, adult day center. There's also a connection on this page again to that Oregon Care Partners, which is free training, medical help, information on how to get an assessment, what things to ask your provider, and then research on Alzheimer's. And then this one is more. So specific help. So do you need a caregiver support program? Do you need legal assistance? Do you want to look at preventing elder abuse? And do you need assistive technology? So that's that tab. Again, we can always go back to home and go through this way. So if we wanted to search, I think they're working on this. This wasn't how it was last time, was it? So do we know what we need? So those are all the different categories. If we kind of know what we need, we can use a keyword. We can say Clackamas County, and we can say food. And if you'll notice, it brings up, let's see, it brings up, let's see, we're going back to food here. I wanted to show you that it brings up a list of different things that have food in them. And so you might find it, what you're looking for here, or we could go to a more general topic. And then we want to hit go. And then there's a lot of different things we can do. They've been working on this. Joan, this wasn't like this when we were on here last time. This is awesome. So this is what it does. It brings you up a list of different things. So we can go in here. This one is in Oregon City. And what we do is look at each one then. And we get a ton of information. So we get the program information, where they are, what their email is, and then what do they do? And then who do they serve? How much does it cost? When is the service available? And any additional information, like are they accessible? Is it provided in other places besides on-site? Are they ADA compliant? Are they not-for-profit? Are they for-profit? And when was it last updated in this system? And this one hasn't been looked at since February. They try to get to everything about every 6 months to a year. Just to be sure. And I know that during COVID, they were trying to update more often because people were changing the way they were doing things. So this takes us back to the original list, or if you wanted to print this out, you could print it out. It gives you a map to help you find it over here. So we're going to return. So we return to the list. Now, if we wanted to, we could sort this list by agency name or by zip code or by the best match based on the information we gave it. We can also filter the results by different cities or different zip codes, or whether the service is provided by phone, by on-site, in the home, or whatever. And then you can change the filter. So there's a whole bunch of different ways to do it. And you can, check them all and print them all, or you can compare them. You can email this list to somebody, and it gives you a map. So that's the search. Then there's a connect section. And this is where you can just hover over your county and then click on it. And then you get the group. Our ADRC in Clackamas County is through the Clackamas Social Services group, the Clackamas County folks who do human services. And they're only open Monday through Thursday. They're closed on Friday, and we can get hold of them by calling this number or emailing them here. If I lived in Jefferson County, it would be the Jefferson County Council on Aging, which is their area agency on aging. This ADRC, contrary to what Ty put in the newsletter, is not an organization. It's actually a partnership between organizations. It's the Medicaid, state Medicaid offices, the state offices, the folks that worked with disabilities, and the area agencies on aging, who get a lot of money to help with Meals on Wheels and caregiver programs and case management and things like that. Okay, the last tab is plan. Oh, but I should show you this. So there's information about the ADRC. Here's the survey, another way into the survey to tell the folks at ADRC how they're doing and whether you like what they've given you or whether they should make something different. And then provider database. You want to be a provider. These is the criteria, and this is the request form. And the villages are in here. And I should have brought that up. We're working on how to have more different keywords connected to our villages, but let's see. Villages Northwest comes up.
Oh, there we are.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're working on having them also come up under keywords like transportation and right now it's coming up mostly under volunteer opportunities, but we're working with the folks at the ADRC in Multnomah County to get that changed. And some of the other villages are in here, but I can't remember which ones, but we found some of them the last time we were in here. So I'm working with the Multnomah County resource person and Lynn to get everything connected in here. Okay, so plan, long-term services and supports. So plan and prevent. Why do we want to plan? What are the first steps in planning? How do we fund our care? And these all have tabs underneath them. So private options, Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, veterans, and then protect your finances. Again, the planning toolkit is on here. So independent housing, legal help, healthy living, all kinds of different programs. How do we stay active and eat healthy? And this takes us right into successful programs for healthy living. The other thing at the bottom of the page is each of the 4 areas we just went into and what all the main tabs are. And so if you kind of remember where something was, you can just go right to it using one of these links. And then each of these links had links underneath them. Okay, anybody have any questions?
Well, how is this funded, this organization, the ADRC? Is that a government institution?
It's not an organization. It is a partnership of organizations. And so it's funded by there's several different funding sources. The area agencies on aging fund some of it. The Medicaid offices, they get federal funding through grants from the Administration on Community Living, the ACL. The disability community is involved, and they put some funding to it. And they all have information and referral specialists who are trained, and they all have options counselors who are trained from each of those areas. So it's not really an organization, like I said, it's a partnership, but they do have funding, and it's it was a lot of funding initially to help get it set up, and now it's coming more from local and regional monies, not so much from the federal government anymore.
So it's not something that we'll lose if the current administration stays in.
I hope not. No. I think everybody, all the local groups are, and the state is committed to keeping it there. Yeah. It looks to me like they just reworked this website. It was different about a month ago. So they've updated it a little bit and fixed it up, and looks like they're trying to make it more user friendly.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I know a lot of people aren't good with computers, but what I like to do is show people all the stuff that's on here. A lot of the folks that we're working with that are our members that are a little bit older, their kids are probably getting on here for them. But this is a way, if you've got a member coming in that needs some other help, you can kind of get on here and maybe help them find some other options or help them know who to call anyway. And then this is kind of like, there's another group that we're looking at, Northwest Community Network. And so this is a network of folks and that's a network of folks, and they both are a little bit different. But this is one we can connect our people to. And then once they get into the system, it's a statewide database. So no matter if they call back more than once, the information will be in there. So whoever answers the phone, or if they get an options counselor, that person can work with them for up to 3 months to help them connect with things and kind of get settled. And
a printed version of this? I mean, for those people who do not have access to a computer?
No, it's not. No, because there's too many connections that go to links, but you can call these people, call this number, and they have an information and referral specialist in front of this computer that can do it for you and then tell you. And then they can send you, like we saw when you're searching, when the information comes up that they're looking for, you can print that or email it and send it. But there's not a printed version of the website, no, because there's just too many links to too many things.
And I suppose it has to be kept up to date as well.
Yes. In fact, they just, in the last month since we looked at it, or the last 2 or 3 weeks, they've gone in and done a rework, because this isn't what it looked like last time.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I'm going to